everyone, today's recipe is chili con carne with beans. Now we're making this up with some bacon and quite a few little peppers in there, but not too spicy. And I'm going to serve it up with some of my cornbread, which is really delicious, and you'll get the link for that recipe as well. So I'm Rockin' Robin, and I'm going to show you how to do it right after this. Let's go over our ingredients. Now there's quite a few of them, guys, but I don't want that to intimidate you at all. This is really easy to do. So let's get started. We have some fire roasted tomatoes and I have some pinto beans here, and they're both in a can. And I pick out the cans that are organic if I can, because the lining in these do not contain BPA, and that's really not good for us. All right, we'll need some onions. I have some bacon here that I've already cooked up. Now when you're cooking your bacon, guys, make sure that you save the grease at the end. Don't throw it away. I have it right here in a cup, and we're going to be using that for cooking up our onions. We'll need some cornstarch and a little bit of water. That's going to be used to thicken up our chili con carne. And we'll need some tomato sauce, tomato paste, minced garlic, chili powder, ground cumin, oregano. And back here, of course, we have our ground beef. I'm using a pretty lean cut. And we'll need some chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. That comes in a can in the ethnic section of your grocery store. I have a pasilla pepper here, a quite large one. Honey, some wine. You use some red wine for this. I happen to use just whatever I had left over, so it really doesn't matter. Mine was a Pinot Noir. We'll need some chicken broth and some olive oil. We're going to start off here with the thing that takes the longest to cook. So in this case, it's the onions, all right? That's going to take us 15, maybe we'll go 20 minutes. I always tell people to cook their onions for, a fair amount of time. You get the best flavor. All right, so that's what we're going to do with. I got my frying pan here that I cooked the bacon in, and so there's a little bit of grease left in the pan, and I'm going to add a little bit more. And I also like to mix it up with just a little bit of olive oil. Here goes our onions. We're going to saute these, like I said, for about 15 minutes, and then we'll add the garlic. We're going to start these out on medium-high, and then we'll go down to low. While our onions are sauteing, we have time to char up our pepper. So we're going to put it right on the flame there, just like that. Use tongs and be really, really careful because it's really hot. And we're just going to rotate it as it blackens, and we're just going to turn it over until the whole thing is completely black. And then we're going to place it in a bowl and cover it with saran wrap, and that'll let it steam. Here are the onions after 20 minutes. Time to add the garlic. And we'll saute this for 2 more minutes. Our onion is done, so we're going to place everything into our stock pot here. This is where we're going to cook everything in. Now we're going to cook the hamburger in the same pan. While the ground beef is cooking, it's been about 10 minutes. This has been steaming, our little pepper here, and I'm going to show you how to just rub it with paper towels to rub the black stuff off. So you just rub it like that, and it just comes right off. Now you want to leave some of that black stuff on there because it adds some flavor. That's why you don't want to rinse this under the water. Now we'll just cut the pepper up. So I'm going to cut the end off, and then I'm going to slice this open to remove the seeds. You can leave them in if you like. I like to take them out. And then just give your pepper a nice chop. So we're going to place this into our stock pot with everything else. Let's check back in with our ground beef and see how it's doing. All right, there's a lot of grease in here, so I'm going to be draining this out, and then we'll add the ground beef to our pot. Now it's just a matter of putting everything in the pot. So I got my bacon and I just chopped it up. You could crumble it with your hands, do whatever you like. So I'm going to just toss that in there. I'm going to add the chicken broth. Once I add the chicken broth, I can put the temperature on the stove back on to medium-low, because we want this to simmer and really get those flavors to develop. Next goes our wine. Here's our tomato sauce. Now this is the fire roasted tomatoes. Now my family doesn't like those big chunks of tomatoes, so I put it in the blender and blend it up so it kind of just breaks them down a little bit. You don't have to do this, you can put them in just out of the can. Here's our chili powder. Here's the ground cumin, the oregano. Now for the chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that this family is sort of wimpy when it comes to heat. So what we do in this case is we just put in the adobo sauce. So 2 teaspoons is a good amount. It gives it some kick, but it's not overpowering. Anybody can eat it. All right, there's one more thing I almost forgot, and that is the tomato paste. I have a little frying pan here, and I'm gonna place it into the frying pan, medium-low heat, but I'm gonna cook it for just a minute. And I'm gonna keep stirring it so it doesn't burn. And it's gonna caramelize and give it a little more sweetness. And now we're gonna go ahead and place this back into our little sauce here. Next goes our honey, can't forget that. So I'm gonna put like a nice little heaping teaspoon of honey in this. Okay, so I haven't added the beans yet, and I haven't added the cornstarch or that water mixture. So that's coming in a little bit. We're gonna let this simmer for at least a half an hour. An hour is better. So the chili's been cooking now, simmering for about 20 minutes. So I've got a couple tablespoons of water here, cold water, and I'm gonna add the cornstarch to this. So just take a fork and just blend it up. So you just wanna stir this while you add it. And I'm just gonna bring this to a boil again, and it will start to thicken a bit. I'm gonna add the beans now as well. Doesn't that look good? Sure smells good in here. Guys, the chili con carne is done, making my house smell really good, and I'm gonna serve it up here. It's really hot still. And then I've got my cornbread over here. I made this yesterday because I was making chili, and it goes perfect with this. Beautiful with this, guys. You got to try it. All right, let's see how we did here. Let's give this a taste. Oh yeah, it's got some good flavor. It's got a nice amount of heat for me. I can taste that smoky chipotle peppers in there. And you know, the honey, you don't even notice it. It just kind of takes any kind of bitterness out. It's not overly sweet. It's really good, guys. I hope you'll try it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. You know, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button up there and you'll be notified every week when a new video comes out. And follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you may not know this, but I put out little clips, little pictures of what's coming up. So you'll kind of get a heads up on what videos are coming up. So check that out. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.